Yo, what's up, guys? How are we doing today, man? I'll be going through the Ringer'S top 25 players for, I believe, this season. I've seen this everywhere pretty much on the Twitter. Let me go ahead and let me see their official rankings for, I'm guessing it's this year, so let's go through that real quick. The honorable mention list includes DeJounte Murray, Chris Middleton, Bam Adebayo, Evan Mobley, Paul George, LaMelo Ball, Darius Garland, Kyrie Irving, Mikal Bridges, Pascal Siakam, Triple J, and Damian Lillard. Players who fell at the top 25 from last year were as follows: Bam Adebayo, Paul George, Kyrie Irving, Damian Lillard, Julius Randle, that's actually insane, Bradley Beal, Zion Williamson, and Kawhi Leonard. And Kawhi was 6th last year, and Dame was 11th last year. Wow, I mean, obviously they're both injured, so that makes sense. At 25, Jaylen Brown, I like this. He was right on the cusp this year of making the All-Star team. Obviously, we know he's one of the league's best two-way players, and he probably should have been an All-Star, in my opinion, over Chris Middleton. So, yeah, definitely like this ranking right here. Obviously, really good player, great two-way guy. Fred VanVleet, first-time All-Star this year, having a really good season this year for the Toronto Raptors. Definitely would be around this range as well. Not surprised that he's here. I don't know though. Would I rather have Jaylen Brown or Fred VanVleet? Honestly, a pretty tough decision. Anthony Davis, obviously he would be like top 10, 15 if he was fully healthy. He's been injured pretty much all year. What we see from this year, right around this ranking. So yeah, obviously, like I said, he can be literally as high as top 10 fully healthy. So yeah, definitely makes sense. Zach LaVine at 22. Okay, I like this ranking a lot. Zach LaVine this year was an all-star, obviously. He was right on the cusp of actually being an all-star game starter between him and DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan got it, so definitely love this ranking right here. At number 21, Jared Allen. If I was gonna personally put a Cavalier right here, in my opinion, I probably would just put Darius Garland. I just think that Darius Garland is just a better player than Jared Allen. So, like, Allen is good and all. He was an all-star, but people, NBA players like Draymond Green and LeBron and KD, they know how good of a player Darius Garland really is. So I would just will put DG over JA, but Jared Allen obviously is a really good player, so I do like this ranking, but I personally just would put Darius Garland over him. Okay, at 20, Jrue Holiday. So obviously a more defensive minded guy. I probably would have been an all-star this year over his teammate Chris Middleton. He's put up close to 19, 5 and 7 this year on good field goal percentages, and obviously we know he's a really good shooter and obviously a really good defender. Draymond Green at 19. Last year he was unranked. Obviously you can look at his stats, right around 8 and 8, but his stats don't speak to his biggest strong suit, which is obviously his defense. If you're not actually going ahead and watching the games, you'll see 8 and 8. How is a guy averaging a triple single at 8 and 8 in the All-Star game? Because he's one of the best defenders in basketball, if not the best defender in basketball that can go ahead and can guard 1 through 5. 18, James Harden last year was 8th. This seems really low, but Harden has struggled and he sneaked into the All-Star game this year. He's had this really just ups and downs with the Nets. Struggled recently against the his former team, the Nets. Before that, though, he played 2 good games against the Knicks twice and against Minnesota. All had really good games. And then there was the game against the Nets where he just completely just got clamped by his former teammate Kyrie Irving, who took that assignment serious. But yeah, that's really low for Harden. But he, like I said, he really sneaked into the All-Star game this year, and he's really been up and down all year, especially as of recent. So yeah. At 17, Rudy Gobert, who was 18 last year. As we know, Gobert, love him or hate him, he is probably the best paint protecting big in the NBA. One of the league's best rebounders, really good around the rim, really good around the paint. And the Jazz right now are like a top 4 seed in the Western Conference. He's putting up close to 16, 15 a game with 2.2 blocks per game and an effective field goal percentage of 71%, which is very good. At 16, Karl-Anthony Towns. Yes, I would put Cat over the likes of Rudy Gobert. I probably have Cat right behind Jokic and Embiid in terms of best centers in the NBA. Really good player. Happy that he's actually getting his credit this year, as Minnesota is now a play-in team, sitting right now at, I believe, the seventh seed right now in the Western Conference. Cat's putting up close to 25 and 10 a game. So definitely shout out to Cat. Finally getting his respect as he deserved for a couple years. And Minnesota's actually getting traction now with their play this season that's went very underrated, okay? At number 15, Trae Young. I feel like this is very low. I feel like Trae Young is one of the best point guards in basketball. As of right now, this season, probably right behind Luka at number 1. And if you want to put Ja Morant ahead of him, I won't be mad at you. But I feel like Trae Young should be borderline minimum top 10. Top 15 is kind of disrespectful, especially this year. Yes, the Hawks this year are not good. They're in the play-in after being last year in the Eastern Conference Finals. But Trae Young has been putting his team on his absolute back, getting close to 28, 4, and almost 10 assists a game. He's been going off, and he is a top 3 point guard in the NBA, and he should be at minimum top 10, okay? At number 14, Donovan Mitchell. Okay, I like the Mitch. I mean, at least y'all put Booker over Mitchell. I'd probably like Devin Booker over Donovan Mitchell, but definitely a really good player. I feel like he's had a pretty underrated year. He hasn't been going too insane because he's been injured a little bit, but yeah. And right after I said that, Devin Booker is number 13 after being number 20 last year. Devin Booker definitely is right around a guy that will be borderline top 10 in the NBA as he's getting better defending wise. He's becoming a better playmaker, and his scoring, as we know, is amazing, along with his elite shooting and shot creating, okay? Definitely love that. At number 12, Jason Tatum. It's really tough for me to pick between Devin Booker and Jason Tatum. They're both really good players. Really similar plays in my opinion. Obviously, Tatum's just obviously taller, but that's about it. Both can play make. He's the better rebounder. And their shooting is both elite, both really just making shot creators. And it's a toss-up on who's better, but I'm not mad that you picked Tatum over Booker. I'm not mad at that at all. Love Tatum's game as well. Very do love Tatum's game. At number 11, Jimmy Butler of my mind. Based on this year, Jimmy Butler is not a top 11 player in basketball. Maybe top 15, okay. But as a guy that's watched every Heat game this year, in the clutch time, Jimmy Butler has shown this year that he is not acting as a clutch player. Jimmy Butler's defense really carries him to this ranking as he's one of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, and it helps when you have a center like Bam Adebayo that can help with that elite defense, and you have this Eric Spoelstra go ahead and amazing defense out there in South Beach. So yeah, Jimmy Butler, obviously his defense carries him in this ranking, but his offense has been kind of stagnant from last season and definitely drops off in the clutch. So definitely very, very tough, but his defense does carry him, like I said. Even though he's really not scoring really too efficiently, he has been playmaking a decent amount. And number 10, looks like it'll be very controversial, Chris Paul of the Suns. Right now, is Chris Paul better than his teammate Devin Booker? I don't think I can say that Chris Paul right now is better than Devin Booker. I'm sorry, but Chris Paul, I'm a big Chris Paul fan. Chris Paul is literally one of my favorite players of all time, but Chris Paul, I don't think you're better than your teammate Devin Booker, okay, respectfully. Still a great player, probably still a top 15 player, maybe top 20 player in basketball, but top 10 seems like kind of a stretch. At number 9, DeMar DeRozan, that a month ago was literally in the MVP talks, has kind of not dropped off, but kind of came back to earth as of recent, and still playing really good, but not playing as he was in that MVP mode, which garnered him to win Player of the Month a month back, I believe. So yeah, DeMar DeRozan's averaging 28, 5, and 5. Obviously, you know he's the king of the mid-range shot, extremely clutch, playmaking a lot, and not surprised to see him here though. At number 8, Ja Morant. I feel like right now Ja Morant definitely is minimum top 5 for MVP. And to have him at number 8 is kind of a head scratcher. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of a head scratcher. Yeah, I think he's minimum top 5 right now in the NBA. Luka Doncic, I probably would put Luka Doncic over Ja Morant, but let's see who else they have over Ja Morant. Okay, so Luka, like I said, in my opinion right now, Luka Doncic is the best point guard in the NBA. What he's done this quick into his career, especially this season, has been definitely underrated, and dude is just simply unreal. Okay, coming in at number 6, LeBron James. I wouldn't have LeBron this high just because of the fact that he's missed so many games. But if LeBron was fully healthy, I definitely would have him definitely top 5. But because he's been injured all this year, I would not have him this high at all. So that's just my opinion on LeBron having a really good elite season at 37 years old, but he's been injured and he's not top 5 right now, in my opinion, just because of his injury history. And then we talk about another guy that shouldn't be here. We have number 5, Stephen Curry, who has had a very underwhelming year, but is still scoring almost 26, 5, and 6.5 assists a game. He's having a down year and he's still averaging these stats. Like, isn't that just insane? He's really just helping out his teammates. The emergence of Jordan Poole, the emergence of Andrew Wiggins as of recent, all stems from a guy like Stephen Curry and obviously a guy like Draymond Green in particular. So I right now, when I have Steph Curry top 5, respectfully have Ja Morant and Luka Doncic and Trae Young right now, all in front of Stephen Curry based on this year in particular. At number 4, Kevin Durant. Yes, lovely right here. Again, like LeBron James, a reason why I wouldn't be mad or surprised that KD wasn't top 5 is because of his injuries. He's been injured a lot this year, but he's still putting up 29, 7, and almost 6 assists per game. I wouldn't be mad if he was out of the top 5 just because he is injured, but when fully healthy. I'm guessing they're talking about fully healthy wise, that these are their rankings, because LeBron and KD have missed a lot of games and they're still top 5 and top 6. Okay, so I guess KD at 4, obviously class act, really good player. Number 3, Joel Embiid. I thought he would be for sure number 2, but he's number 3. Nah, I probably wouldn't put Giannis over Embiid this year. Embiid's having literally MVP season right now. I probably have him either 1 or number 2. I probably have a number 2 honestly behind Nikola Jokic. Yeah, I probably would have Embiid over Giannis, not gonna lie. Almost 30 points a game, 11 rebounds and 4 assists. Especially with the addition of James Harden, he's still putting up these performances. Just gotta give him his respect. Even though he is an absolute free throw merchant, gotta give him his respect for having this just amazing season for the Sixers. Number 2, Giannis Antetokounmpo of the Milwaukee Bucks. I like Giannis at 3. I don't think I really like Giannis at 2. Yes, Giannis obviously, last year he was the best player in basketball, right above Kevin Durant, but based on this season, he's still been amazing. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been amazing. He's been nothing short of amazing this season, but I still would probably have Jokic and Embiid over him. I feel like right now it's like a 4-man race right now for MVP. Jokic, Embiid, Giannis, and Ja Morant. Maybe Luka Doncic. I feel like DeMar DeRozan has stepped out of that race right now, respectfully, okay? But number 2, Giannis, I probably would have right here Joel Embiid of the Sixers. Nikola Jokic, yes. Right now, Nikola Jokic is the best player in basketball, and he should definitely be on his way to winning back-to-back MVPs, barring anything happening out of the ordinary. He'll be getting Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. back, hopefully for them in the next month, and then we'll see just how far this Nuggets team can go, because right now, even without those two, they're still in a good position in the Western Conference standings, so definitely shout out to them. But yeah, how do y'all feel about this rankings? I feel like I said, I feel like Jokic definitely is number 1. Number 2, I would say definitely should be Embiid. Number 3 should be Giannis. Number 4, I'm not mad at KD. Number 5, no. Trae Young and Luka have both been better than Curry, as well as Ja Morant. And then LeBron at 6. I guess they're not really taking in his injury. I guess maybe they kind of are a little bit to have him top 6 with how much games he's missed this year. But yeah, that is the Ringer'S 25 players. I know how hard it is to rank players. It is extremely hard to rank players. That's why I personally do not rank players at all. I just react to people making these rankings. I just give my thoughts and opinions on these things, okay? But yeah, what are your thoughts on these rankings? Let me know what y'all would change about these rankings. Like I said, I would have definitely Ja, Trae, and Luka definitely this year based off this year, like I said. over Stephen Curry, and I would have definitely have Joel Embiid over Giannis Antetokounmpo this season, respectfully. Obviously, 3 amazing players, Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic, but I would just go Jokic, Embiid, and Giannis this season. It's in my opinion, okay? Other than that, yo, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below. So follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and TikTok. Boy John. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to also go down below and subscribe to my other channels. Links to those will always be in the description box down below. Your boy John, though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.